Hello again, citizens. Since our last development diary, the project has been marching forward, and as such we would like to talk you through some of the progress we have made this last period. Before we dive into the video, however, we quickly want to thank you all for your support following our last episode. From that one video, we received over 100 new volunteer applications for the Skyblivion project. Although not everyone made the cut, a good few have started working across a number of departments, which will certainly speed up the project's development cycle. So, thank you all for subscribing, sharing, and volunteering. With all that said, welcome to the making of Skyblivion. In the previous developer diary, we highlighted that Oblivion's map of roughly 57 square kilometers, or 22 square miles, compared with Skyrim's world map of about 36.7 kilometers, or 14.5 square miles, creates a challenge for the project to say the least. Not only does our team have to remake a world with complex and unique biomes, they must do so for a landmass over a third larger than Skyrim's. Nevertheless, our team has been working on this part of the project for years, and as it stands we are scheduled to finish the first pass on 7 out of the 10 exterior map claims by the end of the year. A major achievement for our team, and one that we proudly want to show off in its current state. Although the first passes on the following areas have been completed, more polish and additional details will be added to finalize these parts of the map. The Jerall Mountains, perhaps the most rugged region in Cyrodiil, blanketed in snow, with little vegetation on the ground. They are very steep, and travel is mostly by path only, especially near the border with Skyrim and near the Colovian Highlands. The Gold Coast contains a series of sloping hills in the east, on the border of the West Weald. It generally slopes downwards to the west and flattens out as it approaches the sea. The Gold Coast is lightly dotted with evergreen trees. The vegetation is sparser than the rainy southern coast of Cyrodiil, and the swaying grasses are a characteristic gold rather than green. The Colovian Highlands are the desolate western foothills of the Jerall Mountains. North-south travel is often impossible due to the sheer sides of the highlands. The foliage and color is similar to the Gold Coast, with evergreen trees, ferns, and yellow-green grasses between islands of grey rock. The Highlands are among the sparser regions in the country, both in terms of vegetation and dungeons. But do not let down your guard. Whether by blade or by falling rocks, death will try to come for you in these treacherous mountains. The Heartlands are a lowland area in Cyrodiil consisting of the central areas of the province. It forms a border with the region's Great Forest in the north and west, Nibinay Basin in the east, and Nibinay Valley in the south. The Red Ring Road forms the border on most sides, but its eastern border stretches roughly halfway to Cheydinhal, and its southern border extends down the Niben River to the end of Niben Bay. The Blue Road enters the region from the east, and the Yellow Road from the southeast. The Nibinay region is split up into the Niben Basin and Niben Valley. The Nibinay Basin is largely wilderness, with dense forests of a mix of coniferous and deciduous trees, jutting moss-covered rocks, and numerous lakes and rivers. It is also marked by steep, but not impossible, hills. In terms of flora and topography, the basin is nearly indistinguishable from the Nibinay Valley. The Nibinay Valley is a region in eastern Cyrodiil, centered around the River Niben. Bergamot grows particularly dense around Bravil, as does mandrake and nightshade. The eastern bank of the Niben River is thick with foxglove, monkshood, and summer bolete. Many other plants thrive in the region, including nirnroot. The trees and shrubs of the valley, as well as the hills and stones, are virtually indistinguishable from the Nibinay Basin. Lastly, we have Blackwood, the great southern swamp that drains the lower Niben River out to Topal Bay. The swamp borders Khajiit elsewhere to the west and Argonian Black Marsh to the east. Though hilly in the west and southeast, Blackwood is primarily a flat swamp. The region is particularly lush with violet-flowered bushes, white oak, and bald cypress trees. Visibility is often poor, owing to fog, mist, and heavy rains. As you can see, a lot of work has gone into reimagining the fantastical world of Cyrodiil. While it's not quite done yet, we are inching closer and closer to completing the exterior world space every day. If you have feedback or ideas of your own, by all means let us know in the comments, as the team digs through them regularly. With a total of 2,663 interiors, to say our team has their work cut out for them would be an understatement. Currently, the interior team is focused on reworking all caves, mines, and other dungeons from Oblivion. Originally, Oblivion's dungeons only came in a few flavors and would be repeated around the map. For Skyblivion, we remake our dungeons to fit specific location names, descriptions by NPCs, or quests that take place there. A good example is the Exhausted Mine from our quest preview, which is described by an NPC as an old-fashioned mine with lots of twists and turns that has been infested by a goblin tribe. Here is a look at the mine in question. With 8,032 3D objects, our 3D team never seems to be short on new assets to tackle. As such, we encourage any experienced 3D artist to join our team if you think our project provides an interesting challenge to further hone your skills, or you simply want to help make this project happen. While there are many types of assets in the work, recently we have been focusing on claims required by our interior team. These mostly consist of furniture and clutter claims that allow our level design team to finalize the various interiors of Cyrodiil. As you can see, the assets have been professionally redesigned to complement the different classes, ranging from lower to middle to upper, and finally the creme de la creme, the counts and countesses of Cyrodiil. Work on other parts of the game haven't stopped either. Creatures, clothes, weapons, armors, and especially architecture are also being worked on. As of last month, our new architecture task force has started to tackle the Ayleid Ruin tile set, which plays a major part in Oblivion's environments. Oblivion is covered with Ayleid ruins, similarly to the Dwemer ruins in Skyrim, and as such deserves some love and attention. Treasure hunters, adventurers, bandits, and various creatures seem to be drawn to these locations, so be careful and make the appropriate preparations before entering the ruins of the ancient elves. As mentioned in our previous developer diary, we have been hard at work redesigning Skyrim's UI to give it a familiar yet modern look and feel that fits the new setting of Skyblivion. Based on feedback from the previous diary, we have finalized more of our designs and have started putting everything in-game, piece by piece. On screen, you have been looking at some of these latest additions and refinements, but it's probably better to just show you some of our work in-game, wouldn't you agree? As already mentioned, a big part of our most recent internal build update is the inclusion of quests. Up until September of this year, quests were kept separate as we felt they were not stable enough to be introduced to the build. Shortly after our previous developer diary, the coding department managed to further refine our quest conversion tool to the point where quests could finally be included. A new chapter for the quest implementation team has begun. Now that all quest data has been implemented into the build, our quest department can really get to work. Oblivion has a total of 219 quests that vary from a simple fetch quest to intricate scripted events with multiple stages, such as the fan-favorite quest Whodunit. They all need to just work. While the current quest build allows us to start almost every quest, most, if not all, have minor or major issues that would prevent a player from completing them properly. It can't be understated that the automated conversion tool that we have been developing since 2016 has saved us years of work. A single improvement to this tool could fix hundreds of bugs at once, but the tools can only get us so far. Now it is time for some good old-fashioned manual labor to take us the rest of the way. The implementation of these quests can be as simple as providing text for quest objectives, or as intricate as introducing new packages, factions, scenes, and scripts to work around systems that operate very differently between the two games. As one might imagine, this last part of the quest implementation process is not without its challenges, but the results speak for themselves. What started out as a simple side project has evolved into one of the biggest modding projects to date. Despite the massive scope of this project, we are finally seeing the end of the road, but there is still work to be done. We hope this video has given you a better insight into the project, and perhaps shown how some of you might be able to contribute yourselves. Only with the Elder Scrolls modding community's talents and the support of this fantastic community could we have ever gotten as far as we have. We hope you continue to support us as you have been for years, and we are excited to share much more. Happy holidays, and see you all next year.